Hi again, Gregg of the News Tribune here in the summer rain of CenturyLink Field. The rain and the prices were the only thing regular season tonight in the preseason finale against Oakland. Seahawks win 17-15 as if that matters. What did matter is that Brendan Jackson, the defensive end, stormed in on Nathan Peterman on a 2-point play in the final minute, sacked him, and kept us all from having to endure an overtime of an already meaningless preseason game. So thank you to Brendan Jackson. I thanked him in the locker room, and he said you're welcome and laughed. Good-natured Pittsburgh guy that he is. He had a Sidney Crosby Penguins jersey on, which I also appreciated, having to be from the area. What did the Seahawks get out of tonight? It wasn't completely useless. They found a backup quarterback. Geno Smith, their guy. Pete Carroll did not declare that he didn't have to. The former Jets and Giants starter was 4 for 7, 107 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Raiders reserves in the first half. The perfect pass to Terry right in this end zone, a lofted ball right onto Wright's hands even though he was covered. Second touchdown to Jacob Hollister, a dart between 2 Raider defenders in the opposite end zone. To me, the most impressive pass of Smith's first half and night was when he was about to get buried on his back by a 287-pound defensive tackle for Oakland. Stood in the face of that guy who was unblocked and threw a 40-yard pass down to Jazz Ferguson. Ferguson, the leaping catch over a smaller defender at 6'5". I think Ferguson's going to make the team, fitting Carroll's goal to be bigger at wide receiver. But that's a pro play by Smith. To stand in, guy's going to put you on your back. You know you're going to hit and feel it and still make the play. That set up the Hollister touchdown. The other thing the Seahawks found tonight is that C.J. Prosise is going to be on their team. Carroll didn't declare that either, but Carroll said, hey, between the Chargers game and tonight, when Prosise ran for 52 yards in the first half, shows what he can do when he's healthy. Shows how dynamic he is. And he said, we've known it, he just can't get on the field. Well, he's been on the field the last 2 weeks, and Carroll said he's done everything he can. I think Prosise is on the team. If Carroll has stayed with him this long, through 10 injuries in 3.5 years, why would he cut him now? I think he's on the team. That may be at the expense of J.D. McKissick, who was going to be the third down back until Prosise finally got on the field. The cuts are due Saturday at 1 p.m. They've got some decisions to make. Shaquem Griffin did not play on defense tonight. He played a couple special team snaps, made a tackle on a punt, a sign on the opening kickoff level, a Raider who crossed his face at the 20-yard line, and that was about it. The knee is acting up again. The Seahawks thought it was a bruise. It may be more than that. Carroll said you're going to send him to another MRI. You start talking about that right before cut day, and injured reserve becomes a possibility. If they put him on IR before Saturday, he can't return this season. He's done. If they put him on after Saturday, they have to put him on the 53-man roster first and then put him on IR. He could come back after 8 games. I'm not sure you want to waste one of your 2 return spots, IR to return designations, on a backup linebacker and special teams player. So IR between now and Saturday is a real possibility, and ending his season in essence would be a redshirt season. Gary Jennings, 4th-round draft pick. It is conceivable, if not justifiable, in my mind, that Gary Jennings does not make the team. They cut him. And at this point, the way he's played in the preseason, he might even clear waivers and be on the practice squad anyway, and that may be what they're thinking. He would be the highest rookie cut since 2013, another wide receiver the Seahawks cut. I don't know how you put him on the roster, but what he's done since they got him on the team. He had a hamstring injury in June, affecting him into deep July. Then in training camp, he had 1 day, really, of standing out. Russell Wilson made a point of how much he needed it that day. That was in early August. Since then, he hasn't done much in practice, hasn't been targeted, and hasn't caught many that he did get targeted with. Same in the games. He's had 2 glaring penalties. Tonight, he arrived too early on a punt return and blasted the Oakland return man before the ball arrived for a 15-yard penalty. He had a 15-yard penalty against the Chargers for a blindside block that the officials and the coaches have harped on all summer that they were going to call and not to do. I don't see how you put him on unless you just don't want to admit a mistake if you're the Seahawks who drafted him in the 4th round. But again, he's performed so poorly that you can make a case he would stay with the organization on the practice squad. We'll see what that does in the wide receivers. I think they're going to keep 6. I think Jazz Ferguson is one of them. And we'll see. DK Metcalf is already coming back from his knee injury, and he's saying he is Wolverine from Marvel Comics. Told Pete Carroll that he's going to play in that opener. We'll see. That opener is now September 8th against Cincinnati. Another couple interesting notes about that opener. Pete Carroll had, and the medical staff had L.J. Collier out here working very hard in the pregame. A sprained ankle, the first-round draft pick, had in the end of July. He's bouncing back to the point where he had a hard workout today, and they think he may be able to practice next week. Ziggy Ansah practiced last week. You read that and heard about that. Carroll said that the doctors have cleared Ansah for the opener September 8th, provided he doesn't have a setback in practices next week. There's 2 pass rushers you didn't have the entire preseason, so they're getting incrementally better at pass rushing. So I asked Pete Carroll, do you have what you have now on the roster? Are you good enough? Is that adequate for a regular season pass rush for all you interested in Jadeveon Clowney? And he said yes. He said, we're going to have the guys we got. This is who we have. And that's when he went into talking about Ansah and Collier's returns. I'm not sure Collier's going to be back for the opener, but it gives you an idea of what they may be thinking about possibly training for Clowney or anybody else. I have so much more to cover, and it's all on the newstribune.com right now and through the weekend. The cuts again are due at Saturday at 1 p.m. The Seahawks habitually don't announce them officially till about 5:30 or 6, which is somewhat frustrating if you've been around this team for a little bit. My coverage also on Twitter, always at GBellSeattle. Have a great holiday weekend. Thanks for watching.